Alright, here we go. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to exercise, so it's going to be good. You know what? I'll give you a sneak peek. Messiah spoke parables to the less faithful, because they're most likely to spy, for the Pharisees and Sadducees. And I put under Sadducee, Saddam Hussein, and under Pharisees, Farrakhan. Very, very interesting. Pharaoh's Khan, and he's telling predominantly Africanoid, dark-skinned people that white people took away their black god and gave them a white god. So when you put that together with what I'm saying about the black and white, what they actually mean by it, starts to paint a very interesting picture. And I have a broomstick type staff. I'm going to get a better one. I don't know if you can see it. It's to fight the spider webs. Very interesting what you can use a staff for. All the metaphors surrounded with the things you can use a staff for. You can attach a broom to it. You can get vermin out of your house. You can destroy spider webs so that you don't walk into it. Like right now, I can hold this thing in front of me like this, just wave it around, and it may look silly to somebody watching it from the outside. It's not silly to me. You know why? Because then I don't walk into spider webs, or they barely graze the top of my head. But if I just do this circular motion with this staff in front of me, remember, circle is to cop, it actually keeps me from walking into webs, especially full webs. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Oh, maybe I can talk about Gandalf, because I had some thoughts about Gandalf. Gon, I forgot what Gon is. It's you could just put the 3 letters and make it Hebrew letters. Gimel, Aleph, and Nun. So it'd be to invest, to teach or to learn, produce thousands through an investment of teaching. And then the N would be to propagate, Nun. So to propagate it. So Gon, Gigon, the monster Gigon, it's literally Gaiagon. So it's to do all those things that I said with Gon, but Gaia is to burst forth. So Gaia actually isn't the earth, it's actually the waters it's the living waters, is what Gaia actually means. Springs. The Gaihon spring, it's literally, behold, like a bursting forth out of the skin. I'm telling you, the way the Hebrews viewed these things tells you more about creation, nature. How do you think they got all this science, all this physics? It was these people breeding into Semites, or they were Semitic, and they were like sending spies to listen to them, or they just let them freely talk in their saloons. Some rich baron or something gives them a pension or a allowance because he wants to hear their thoughts, because he's dead, right? So these people are either living, they're half living, they're more animated than the average zombie, whatever it is. You'll get Voltaire, you'll get the Rousseau in Revolution. He's contemplating, is revolution actually do anything, or is it just going in circles, which is a revolution? Fortunately, this stick doesn't get these gnats out of here. Gnats are very one-dimensional. They just fly right into your eyes. You're a giant creature that can just eliminate them. You may be able to swipe at them and you miss, but you can use your ingenuity to just exterminate them completely, actually. So it's interesting, just the gall they have. Interesting, I use that word. To just fly right in your face, try to fly right in your mouth, try to fly right in your eyes, try to fly right in your nose, try to fly right in your ear. It's ridiculous. They're ridiculous things. They're meant to teach you something. You're supposed to notice, ooh, why they're ridiculous. That is a very, 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 very sparkly rock. Wow. It's very minerally. I wonder if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can. Because I can't see the screen that good. See if I can get this. It's very sparkly. I like this. I might set it up somewhere. Take it later. I like setting up sparkly rocks. That shows intelligence. If you notice that tribes or any kind of indigenous people are setting up things that stick out. So that's a shiny rock, right? It's smooth in its shape, circular, but it's rough, and it has this minerals in it. Like it have a very interesting, like diamondy geode type sparkling. So you set it apart. That's literally what holy means. You set it apart. That's why you gotta be careful with what you set apart. If you start setting apart a bunch of conventionally ugly things, it might show you're trying to rebel against the system, or you just are attracted to the less prettier things, and that's what you see as holy. I see sparkly pretty rocks as holy, so I put them to the side because they're noticed. Sometimes I set up little signs like this one right here. It's kind of like a guide. If somebody sees it, they might say, oh, somebody with intelligence lives here. They're setting up signs. Usually people who set up just like regular marker signs like that are usually peaceful. It's people who put up negative signs that try to scare you. That's the actual evil. It's disastrous because you could be meaning it towards actual ill-willed people. That's righteous. It's like, yeah, get out of here if you're ill-willed. But not everybody's going to take the message that way. You have to think about everybody. Why? Because God thinks about everybody. And you're supposed to try to be like Him. Whole purpose of life. Try to be like Him. Don't be destructive. Don't just step on bugs because you feel like it. If they're destructive, like wasps, you just impale them with your staff. Crush them with your staff. Why? Because wasps are not morally evil. Evil in Scripture is disastrous or favorable. Now, wasps can have their purpose. They drive out Canaanites. They don't drive me out. Why? Because I can either strike them with my staff, or I have protection from God. Various things. Canaanites will be driven out by the hornets. So when I see a bunch of red hornets coming around, I'm not scared of them. I just know I'm going to have less Canaanite neighbors in a decade or so, because the hornets will drive them out. And then once they're driven out by the hornets, then the hornets will leave. And the hornets won't stop me from doing things. So, you know what I mean? I don't have to fear anything. Nobody has to fear anything. Why do you think they get you to fear things? Because it makes you weak. What happens if you don't fear anything? That's what real invincibility is. I'm serious. What if somebody is invincible? What should they not ever feel? They shouldn't ever feel fear. So if you don't feel fear, it is almost the same, if not greater, than actually being invincible. Especially if you have faith in the Most High, which is one of the only ways you can really get it to a degree of power that's like really, really, really interesting. I even like the sound, just crunching through this stuff. I make sure to spray myself with certain sprays because there's ticks everywhere. A lot of the big ones are coming out. It's like their last chance to eat something before they go back into their cryogenic sleep. It's literally that creepy. Because they're a pestilence. They don't do anything good except drive out Canaanites. Canaanites will get irritated by them. They won't protect themselves against them, or various things like that. Or it's just to teach It's just to make them do stuff because they're lazy. They might produce a lot of stuff because they figure out intricate ways or machinery to help them produce a lot, but it's because they're lazy. That's why they make the technology in the first place. They don't want to actually travel anymore to make one single proselyte. You can do it on the internet now. So there's literally people, it doesn't even matter if you're of a bloodline or not. If you're of a mentality, they will seek you on the internet and they will find you and they will test you. And it's all part of the Most High's plan. So you're not supposed to feel fear. Like the song Dream Police. The dream police, they live inside of my head. Inside of my head. It's like, no, they don't. They live outside. The lie is that they live inside of your head. You see how he's not paying attention? So now he's feeling more fear. And now they won't leave him alone, right? The dream police. That's real. There's sorcerers that if they can just be in physical or spoken contact with you enough, they can show up in your dreams. It's not them. It's the spirit in them that has imprinted something on you. And then you go to sleep. It's called a familiar spirit in witchcraft. It's called familiar. Just in case you think that doesn't exist or I'm making it up out of my own mind. No, millions of minds, if not billions, have believed and ran by this because they've seen it expressed in creation, in their own experience. That's why cowards say you can't find truth in creation. Why did God create it then? God is truth. So if you're going to say you can't find truth in nature or creation, you're denying that God is truth. He doesn't need perception. So the fact that he created perception means it was an act of love for us. Because we're not him. We can be like him though, if we perceive enough. If we have eyes to see and ears to hear, which sight and sound seem to be from the same source. When you put it on the light spectrum. Seems that everything is controlled by light. Oh, what do you know? What are they trying to do with the screens? Okie dokie, let's go. You ready for the future? Some people aren't. And I don't try to make it sound like criticism, but like if I ask somebody if they're ready to die, they need to say yes. I've been ready to die 15, 20 years, probably since I was born. The way I've made decisions since I was born is somebody who doesn't fear death. Or at least they fear something else more than it. In this case, it's the Most High. When I heard his words, I'm like, those are his words. I better listen to them. And then even the people teaching it to me don't seem like they're following it. See, that's where the test starts. These people teach these precepts because they think that they just make them successful materialistically, which they do. They make you more successful materialistically when you realize material ain't worth nothing. And then you just have spirit. And that spirit can speak to anybody with any material wealth, with any type of religion, with any type of morality. Success speaks to everyone. You understand? So, if I just trust this book, written by honest, good, hardworking men that would give up what feels so good to go out into the wilderness just to be set apart from the destruction, because you know it's necessary, even though you might not be able to function as much. You can work out, maybe do some push-ups or something, but you know, you're out in the wilderness, you're probably not that buff. You're probably very toned though. It's just interesting thinking about all this stuff. These tiny bugs are very annoying. Soon they'll be gone though. It's almost time for them all to be gone. We must tolerate them for the time being. And now I'm not even sweating. I just do this because it's nice to walk around, talk about random stuff. Try to make it more YouTube friendly too. The Musha versus Pera. I said a few no words, but my genetics, according to YouTube, lets me say that. Everybody who they say is from the genetics, which they claim is only one skin color, to claim that a skin color as an ethnicity is so genetically unprofessional. It's so unscientific. It's just hypocrisy. It's like, okay, we're going to tell you that skin color is an ethnicity. It's like, oh, wow. You either think I'm stupid or you really, really, really don't understand genetics. You understand? These people understand genetics. They're lying to you to get you to hate each other because that's the power they have. It's hatred and fear. If you don't have fear, it means nobody can impress you. You don't have awe for anything except the Most High. Alright, here's where more spiders are. Keep forgetting to circle this thing. Seeing a perception of somebody, seeing me try to keep myself from spiders, might think that I'm doing some kind of witchcraft. It's like, what does this guy have this like stick in the woods, walking around, talking to his phone, waving this thing in a circle in front of him? Like, do you think he's opening portals or something? It's like, no. I'm trying to keep spiders from me. Oh, you're so cute. Look at you. Oh, you look healthy. Look at this. Look at this guy. Come here, buddy. Come say hi. Take a selfie. Where's he at? Can you see him? Let me see. Let me look at. Got some sunlight up here. Where's he at? Can I see myself here? Good Lord, I can't see myself. Here we go. Is he right? Where's he? Right here. Mr. Turtle. Look at him. He's trying to hide. He's just right here, chilling. He's going uphill, so he's going the right direction. He doesn't want to get stuck down there. If he gets stuck down there, you literally, you'll just get stuck down there. So you're going the right way, buddy. Keep going. I already got 3 turtles. I don't think I'm going to take them with me. I wonder if I should. I wonder if 4's a crowd. It might be a sign, though. Is it a female? If it's a female, I'll take it. Let's see. Oop, there goes my stick. I think it's a male. Can't see its butt, though. It has a tail. I think if it has a long tail, it's a female. Or is it... Yeah, because sometimes they use their tail to block their area from unwanted amorous admirers. I think that's why they have a long tail. So maybe if I come back and it's walking around, I'll see its tail. You'll see. If it's a female, I'll take it. That's a good sign. I'm waiting. Because it's weird. The first 2 turtles I picked up when me and my mom were in my truck. It was weird. And then the 3rd one I have was spotted by my dad while he was on the phone. So I'm like, that's weird. 2 of them were when me and my mom were together in a car in one Accord. It was an actual Honda Accord, but and then the next one was found specifically by the 3rd member of the house. So it was very strange. So when I see a 4th one, there's 2 that keep teasing me on the road. And there's 2 women that I think are attractive at the Walmart. So I take it as a sign. I'm like, if I can actually catch one of these turtles and they're females, that's a sign that I'm actually gonna get one of these. You gotta pay attention to that stuff. God's always trying to speak to you through creation or anything. How the light flickers through a shadow might be trying to tell you something. You never know. You're supposed to be aware. So the Semitic skull even represents people who didn't know. Good Lord. Right when I say that. People who were aware, or because of their attitude, God gave them grace. It keeps them. Oh man. That's a big web. Little spider. Looks nasty, like it's probably poisonous or something, but there's some gnarly stuff out here. It's beautiful. This is going to be sideways because I have to re-record it through OBS because it always takes up too much data. When I re-record it in OBS, I compress it better, I guess. Bits of web on my face now. Right when I'm talking about being aware. It's more than just physically aware. There's also sensation. If I didn't feel that slight sensation on my skin of one line of the web, I would have actually ran into it and got fully engulfed in it. Maybe even got the spider itself on me. I don't know if this thing's poisonous. Some of these things, like if they're the right spider and they bite you, it'll make like this nasty pus ball and get infected and do all kinds of nasty stuff. So you gotta be careful with some of these spiders. It doesn't matter if they're small. They're a bit deadly. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll just walk around for a minute. But Gandalf, I don't think I went fully over that. He was Gandalf the Grey. That's the person who's destined to be a Christian, because God already foreknew their choice, and it was such a solid choice that he's like, okay, you'll be a Christian then. You'll live in this timeline, because that will fulfill God's purpose, whatever it is fully. We're not supposed to fully know. We're supposed to trust the dim mirror, because we know we're not going to be gaslighted about what we see, even though it's a mirror dimly. Because you know what? We can keep polishing it. We see through a mirror dimly because nobody ever looks through this mirror. So it's rarely polished, it's rarely taken care of. Might actually have to grind a whole layer just to get a new layer and then start polishing it. And it's still, even if you get really clear, it's still reversed. Left is right and right is left. Isn't that interesting? It almost gets you to see yourself how others see you when you look in the mirror. What I said about perception, and it literally being Messiah himself is perception. He's the Word. Oh, turtle's climbing up the hill. I'm gonna go see if it has a long tail or not. Might take it with me. Take it as a sign. I might just make a fourth member of this family. Let's see what this turtle looks like. And yes, I'm gonna do it eugenically. I don't care what people say. I see a girl with certain genetics that are good, and then she also expresses spiritual ideas that will cause my children to have very, very intelligent, healthy skulls and good-looking noses. And yes, I don't even have to really date her that long. So let's see. Don't get scared, buddy. Let me just see if you got a long tail. What's up, buddy? I think this might be a male. If it's a male, I'm not taking it. Can't have too many males, because then you get. I think there was. I think it's literally one female and two males in that cage too. The turtles I got, and one was like mean, kept flipping over the other one. The two males. So if I just get a third male, that might cause some trouble. But I can't see its tail. Yeah, it's almost got no tail. Oh wait, it's got a little butt. I should look. I don't know how to look that up right away. I think the males have a long tail though. No, my other turtle has a short tail. Okay, yeah. This is a male then. This is definitely a male, so I'll let him go. Let him go do about his business, make more turtles. So he's got a message to tell his buddies. He said, a long, slender figure that shone like the sun picked me up, held me close to his face, and enlightened me and told me, be fruitful and multiply. And then he walked away with his giant tower in his hand. Like, just think about that. Like, how a turtle would perceive you if it was as conscious as a human is how it should teach you how you should be kind of viewing the Most High. This turtle might not even be able to fully visualize my face because of how its eyes are placed, because of the consciousness that God's given it isn't as high as a human or other animals that stand taller. have different shaped eyes. So this thing is physically bound by perception. So we aren't bound. Why? Because we're given God's perception, or perception, the full perception. Enough, of course, to get us where we need to go, but not too much, because if we choose the evil, we can't have too much of it, right? We can't have too much of that power for evil. Only some chosen ones actually get to do that. I can name a few, but I won't do that. I'll wait till Judgment Day. Sometimes I name them, sometimes I don't. But Gandalf the Grey, which is the Gandalf that can speak to everybody, right? But after enough things have happened in the timeline, pay attention, when enough things have happened in this Lord of the Rings timeline, and he did the self-sacrificial thing, and everybody knows, and the whole world hears, all Middle Earth hears, Gandalf fought the Balrog. He fought the Roch of Baal. He fought Rocky Balboa. He did. Everyone's like, he did. It's like, no, I saw him walking through the woods, says a little turtle. I saw him walking through the woods, but his hair was white as snow. And it's fourth dimensional. He's like, oh, Gandalf. Yes, they used to call me that. I forgot what he's called in the book. Starts with an M or something. I think it's like Meta something. I think it's supposed to be referencing Metatron, Kabbalistically. But remember, all these things are corrupted, so there's a good form of everything. You just gotta try to figure out what it is. Remember, good and evil aren't moral. You're not fighting against good and evil. Morally, you're fighting against destruction, something destructive, in the face of a system that is profitable or less destructive as the other system. So this anarcho-capitalist thing that they give 50 shades of anarcho-capitalism. You got communism, you got socialism, you got all this BS. You know? And Gandalf the Grey can talk to all those people. But once he's done the self-sacrificial thing, the things he said have come to pass, and he starts gathering the elect, that's when he doesn't talk to anybody but elect. If he talks to anybody who's not elect, he's literally exorcising demons with his staff. Or else he ain't gonna have any more further discussion. You understand? You wouldn't relieve an old man of his walking stick, would you? You need to understand that the walking staff is what crushes the serpent's head. I bet Moses' staff looked a certain way that was unique already. They like to make a lot of those staffs in biblical depictions. They like to make them with a big bulb on the top that looks very similar to Semitic skull. It's like the Hamite cup mixed with the Japhethite philosopher. The hostility is ceased when the two become one. They're trying to tell you something to physically set you free that's always been around. Paul even mirrors this when he says that's actually what helps redeem a woman is childbirth. Why? Because she's going through pain. It's something selfless. Sometimes if it's too stressful, she can die. So literally, she's risking her life. either for real or in your mind. Doesn't matter. It's selfless, nonetheless. So, you can redeem things physically if you pay attention to parts of Scripture. And see, that's what these Kabbalists think they're doing. They think they're refining some kind of bloodline to birth the real Messiah. It's like, okay. That's why some of these people like me can end up, if we turn evil, we turn into a guy who says, oh, I am Jesus, or I am Messiah. You understand? Notice the phenotypes of the main men who do that. There's one in Russia doing it. Hopefully he figures out his mistake before he, blasphemes the Holy Spirit or something. I don't know. You gotta understand. Because these people think that what's happening in their life only happens in movies. So the fact that it's happening in their life, they're like, I must be something special. This is what Hitler was doing. He's like, I must be special. Like, no, you're not. You have a mind that your ancestors fought for. Genetic, a bone structure, skull shape, a nose shape, how you breathe in air. You can even have genetic traits inside your body, the shapes of certain tubes, so that your heart can do more than the average. Your lungs can do more than the average. They tell you this. Even recently they said, oh, they just discovered that a tribe, some Polynesian island tribe or something, developed a genetic trait where genetically they can already hold their breath longer and withstand the pressures of the deep more than the average human beings. Yeah, that can be done mentally too. It's called the Semitic genome. And they try to say like simian for monkey. Simeon's the one who hears. They think, oh, hearing isn't believing, seeing is believing. Uh-oh. I think we're solving the mystery here. Gandalf the Grey turns into Gandalf the White. It's Samir Moth time, you understand? With Gandalf, it's just everybody. He's Mr. Fireworks Man. He's being pyrotechnic. He just wants to make everybody happy, right? He wants to teach everybody wisdom the way that it's most understandable to them. And he likes hobbits most out of everybody. Hobbits are kind of like a Christian thing. They seem very harmless, but they can get more things done because they're intuitive. They have a skull that thinks a certain way, you understand? Spiritual came first. Their ancestors earned that skull. And they want to bring in other people to take it away from you. They don't just do it genetically, they do it through teaching. If you teach your kids scripture, you'll start bringing this skull and this nose and other traits out of your children. Especially if it's already in your blood somewhere. You don't understand. I have a thumb of a swordsman. I've always liked using sticks and using them as swords when I was a kid. All kinds of stuff. As a young boy chasing dragons, with wooden sword so mighty, King George or your Davids, and you always kill the beast. Time goes very quickly. She had to grow up early. House and smoke and ruins, and the bodies at your feet. You die as you live in a flash of the blade. They're gonna forget by the world. You live for the touch, for the feel of the steel. One man and his honor. Yeah. I need a sword. I'm not complete. Won't get a sword. Better watch out. Shamir Moth got a sword. Dun, 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 dun. Shamir Moth got a sword. Dun, dun. Ragnarok's just begun. Shamir Moth got a sword. Or it's close to the day of the Lord. Dun, 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 dun. Smear Moth got a sword. What did those pharaohs do? Did they try to get you to hate the Jews? They told you every lie conceivable to make your little powder puff. Alright, I'm gonna stop. Said the spell that she was under, the lightning never thundered, never gonna be the same. Do you understand? This guy is writing a true principle about abuse and why it's so silent in this country. Spell that she was under, the lightning never thundered. It's a deaf and mute spirit. Never gonna be the same. This is why she will be the same. When? When she takes that gun. When the abuser gets the Shamir Mott, it takes it off. Doesn't matter how many times you prayed or this and that. These people who do these things, even in pagan law, it's supposed to be capital punishment. So, if they are not dispatched, the spirit lays on the abused. So, sometimes you just gotta sit and wait. And when they pass, you reiterate. So that's today's 36 minutes, 33 seconds. Can't get away from it now. It's always there.